Welcome to our Going for Growth webinar series, and this is the last in this particular series, number 7, Systemising Everything. I'm Williamson of Goddards Accountants, and basically I'm talking about contents of my book, Going for Growth, and simple stuff that works, because that's better than complicated stuff that doesn't work. If you haven't already asked for a copy of our book, Going for Growth, please do so. We're happy to give it away for free. And I'm pleased to say that our next book, Key Performance Indicators, is currently being with the printers who are working on its contents. So that should be out in a couple of months. So, as I said, we've run 7 in total programs, and today we're dealing with systemising everything. Just a reminder, our case study is with Moorish Decorators, typical the UK business, £750,000 turnover, but not very profitable. If you remember, he made £27,500 profit, and it turned out that he could have earned £25,000 as a hired hand. So effectively, he was earning an extra £2,500 a year for the privilege of all the aggro that went with it. So, systems. What systems? Well, there are a number of systems that any typical business needs to be looking at. Referral systems, other lead generation systems, lead conversion systems, and systems for getting customers to spend more. Also, systems for getting customers to spend more often, systems for getting customers to remain as customers for longer, and pricing systems. Now, somebody recently said to me, I was teaching my grandmother to suck eggs. Yes, I am. But the reality is that 85% of our businesses do not do those 7 things. Not surprisingly, therefore, that's why they're not necessarily growing as much as they do or should do. So you don't only need systems for growth, you need systems for everything else. If you have systems, everybody will be able to do the same job to the same high standard. The business will do things consistently well. Strangely enough, it will generate consistently better results. Most importantly, its success won't be dependent on you, and as a result, you will be able to enjoy a work-life balance. And when ultimately you decide to get rid of it, the business will be much easier to sell because it has systems. It won't fall apart when you're not there. So, it's all very well saying you need systems, but what sort of systems? Leadership systems, operational systems, marketing systems, which is what most people think about, customer systems, people systems. If you've got staff, you need people systems. What do they do? That links in, not surprisingly, with finance systems and administration systems. If you don't have these, each member of the staff is reinventing the wheel. Recently went in and did some work on a firm that we've been asked to look at to acquire it. Sat down with the MD who told us what the systems were. We noted them down, and we then went to talk to some of the salespeople, which he said was totally unnecessary. Surprise, surprise. Turned out none of the staff knew about these so-called systems. Within the sales department of 20 people, there were 4 completely different sales systems because there were 4 fairly strong people in the sales department, and they had basically got members of staff following their particular systems. Great. The only problem was that when a brick wall was hit, if somebody was using system A and was trying to sort out the problem that was using system B, they got in a mess. So you need to have standardized systems throughout the business. As a result, you need to look at that. Prioritize your systems. It might be fantastic to have systems to get you leads and to get you customers. But if you find that they're falling out the other end just as fast as you're putting them in, it's a bit pointless. So what you need to look at is your basic foundations. Those are: how do you manage a client? How do you deal with orders? How do you process orders? How do you deal with sales? How do you deal with the follow-up? How do you deal with suppliers? Because if you're selling the products, you're probably buying in materials to supply. Well, if that's screwed up and you've told somebody he's going to get goods on Friday and they're not going to be delivered until next Monday and it'll take another week to process them, you've got a problem. More importantly, you now have an upset customer, and that upset customer is unlikely to buy from you again, and he will say to his friends, don't go and use them, they're useless. They promise the earth and they deliver nothing. So look at the systems, which ones are important. As a result of that, create a systems action plan for each system. Then map your systems, analyze your systems, and write your systems. And I would suggest that at those three junctions, you talk to the key members of staff so that what you are mapping, analyzing, and writing, they understand and they know will work. It is staggering the number of times when I go in to see large companies and talk to the staff and then talk to the management, and the management give me a nice manual which tells me the system, and yet I find it's not working because the staff say to me, well, it doesn't work, but management aren't interested in being told. So make damn certain that whatever system you have mapped, analyzed, and written is workable and is understood with your staff. As a result of that, you can then implement your system. Equally important, go and do some customer feedback. Create a customer feedback form, and if you come on my webinars, which will be starting in May on System Builder, you will find in there we have standard review customer feedback forms. Look at them. What are people saying? If they're happy customers, phone them. Ask for testimonials. Quite often they'll say yes, but that means they can't be bothered. So draft them a testimonial, send it through to them, get that testimonial approved. And then follow the how to use testimonials system. Put them on your website. Equally important is if you've got a customer who's not happy, why is he not happy? What's the problem? Is he just an awkward individual? Or is there a fundamental problem in your systems? Do they not work? Was the product not what he thought he was buying? Was the product not up to standard? Was it delivered late? And if so, why? And if it was delivered late, did you keep him in the loop or did you just treat him with contempt? All these are very important. Remember, one very happy customer might possibly tell a friend or two. One very unhappy customer will tell everybody he knows. Make sure that you're trying to deal with the one very happy customer. Having written the system, even more important is to analyze your system. Identify and define the objective of the system. Again, teaching your grandmother to suck eggs. Until you know what the purpose of the system is, you cannot measure how efficiently it is working. What's the purpose of your quoting system? Is it to keep somebody in finance happy? Or is it to enable you to have information to improve your performance on? Only by knowing what the objective is can we measure how well it's working. So identify an appropriate measure. As a result, to do that, you have the whys. I call it the 5 whys because you can see there are actually some whats and whos, etc. But effectively, what is the purpose? Why is it necessary? Why is it done? Why is it done there? Who does it? And why does that person do it? When is it done? And why is it done then? How is it done? And why is it done in this way? And most important of all is, because we've always done it this way is not a valid answer. Remember, you may have been collecting water from the well, but if your bucket has a hole in it, it makes an awful lot of sense to look at what is the purpose, why is it necessary, how is it done, and why is it done in this way, and in that instance is to fill the hole so that then when you next collect water, you get a full bucket full, not half a bucket full. Again, teaching my grandmother to suck eggs, but it is staggering how often people fail. And I would suggest that the single most important thing here is the 5 whys. Use those every time you are looking to create a system. On the back of that, we've produced some software called Simple Stuff That Works. Nice little bit of software. So why not ask us for a copy of this software? Equally important, we have a file system now called System Builder. And this covers most of the systems you'll need to run your business, from sales and marketing to staff, admin, and finance. So why not buy a copy of this software from us? Equally important, we now have a little video that we have on a data stick, and we are giving away the data stick for free with the video on that covers a whole lot of problems and resolutions to those problems that System Builder will help with. If you have any questions, either email me at derek@goddards-accountants.co.uk or phone me on 020 8941 2187. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.